Welcome back again today. Today we're going to be talking about the Nubian pharaoh, Shabaka. Ancient Egypt lasted over 3,000 years and can be complicated civilization to grasp. With thousands of years of ancient indigenous people and foreign empires conquering Egypt. Over the history of Egypt, it has been conquered by the Libyans, Greeks, Assyrians, and other groups. This includes either taking over the whole empire, taking over only a city, or taking over parts of Egypt. Egypt also expanded its empire to the west of Egypt, to the south past Sudan, and parts of the Middle East. It was also the center of civilization for many generations, collecting world knowledge, spices, gold, and many other riches and resources. The empire was also closely connected with other parts of the world, bringing in and exporting goods, religions, food, people, and ideas. There were substantial changes to Egyptian society from the Old Kingdom to the Middle Kingdom to the New Kingdom. These are different time periods of the 31 dynasties in Egypt. Between 3100 BCE and 332 BCE, Egypt was ruled by 31 different dynasties, which are classified into the Old, Middle, and New Kingdoms. Nonetheless, their longevity as a pharaoh-ruled large-scale civilization is very impressive. Shabaka was the second ruler of Egypt's 25th dynasty during the Great Nubian reign of Egypt. This was between 712 BC and 715 BC. He would fit in between the previous king, Piye, and future king, Taarka. In 720 BC, the Assyrians would conquer Samaria and were becoming a big empire and a threat to the Egyptian Delta region in the north. One of the rulers in the Delta northern region of Egypt would send gifts to the Assyrian ruler Sargon about 128 miles away. Shabaka would soon move from Napata in the south to Memphis in the north due to this threat. He would get the area under control through diplomatic and religious ways. Rather, he did not rule the northern Egypt Delta and its leaders with the iron fist, but Shabaka would be more democratic. Shabaka would begin a renaissance in Egypt, restoring ancient Egyptian ways after its turbulent former Libyan rulers. This would be known as the Second Great Period of Egypt. The Shabaka stone is the only surviving religious text referring to the Memphite theology of creation. In the earliest surviving tradition of Egypt, the creation of the world was ascribed to the god Atum. Though the theology of Memphis gave prior claim to Ptah, a patron god of the city. Ptah would get credit of his creation of other gods, which leads to the creation of the world. It is thought he was married to the Nubian queen, Tabakenamun. She was the daughter of a king and a sister of a king. She held the religious office of priestess of Hathor and other priestess positions. His second wife was Mesbat, who was thought to be the mother of the high priest of Amun. This evidence comes from her name on his sarcophagus. He also had a third wife named Kelhata. It is not clear if Shabaka was the son or brother of the former pharaoh, Piye. Piye would invade from the south in Nubia, which is present-day southern Egypt and northern Sudan. Piye would take control of Egypt and ruled from the spiritual capital of Napata in Nubia. His lengthy victory was recorded on the hieroglyphic named the Stele of Victory. He would also revive the pyramid construction. He would also expand the temple of Amun and constructed the oldest known pyramid at the royal burial site. He would dominate his enemies, but rather preferred treaties and alliances. He would leave the country to be controlled by his vassals and ruled from southern Egypt and northern Sudan in modern day. During Pharaoh Shabaka's reign, he would revive the old Egyptian traditions and continued researching old temple records, learning about the ancient customs. He would follow the old kingdom of pharaohs, even changing his name on the throne. He would set his residence up in Memphis, Egypt. During the former Pharaoh Piye, the Site territory was rebellious against Piye's reign. This would carry over to Pharaoh Shabaka's rule of Egypt. The Sites would even become more furious when King Shabaka depicted himself in the city as a god. He would be depicted amongst the city's patron deities. It is not known if he ever fully controlled the last city of the Egyptian empire, yet it is clear throughout his rule all of Egypt was under his grasp fully. During his reign, he would build aggressively. Most of the buildings would be in the city of Thebes, on both banks of the Nile River. This building was mostly directed for the god Amun, or the Hidden One, which became popular in the Middle Kingdom times. His identity would merge with the ancient Egyptian sun god called Ra. He would also build at different cities, which was dedicated to other gods of Egypt. Such cities are Memphis and the god Ptah, or the craftsman's creator god, Abydos and the god Osiris, or lord of the underworld, and Edfu and the god Horus, or the healing sun and sky god. On the west bank, Shabaka would enlarge the 18th Dynasty temple at Medinet Habu. On the east bank, he would build structures at Luxor, especially the structure called Treasury of Shabaka. He would also go on to enlarge the entrance of the Temple of Ptah. Pharaoh Shabaka would die in 1702 BC after a long reign. He would be buried in the pyramid of El Karu. Please like and subscribe and turn on the bell notification. And when you click on the bell notification, click the top bell so you'll get all my videos. Add me on all social media, which is African Network. And until next time, peace. One love.